Charles Thornburg. He is Director of Bethesda Mission. I'm going to ask him at this time. He has a couple things he'd like to say. He has provided you with a handout. He's going to say a couple things and offer a prayer, and we'll get started. Thank you for coming out tonight, sir.
Thank you for the invitation. It's good to see everybody again. So let's go ahead and start with prayer. That's always the best one. I need that moment of peace. So, Lord, thank you, God, for this opportunity to approach you, Lord, and know that, God, you are a friend to the friendless, a father to the fatherless, Lord, and you certainly provide, Lord, to those that are hurting. And we thank you for the opportunities that we have, Lord, both here as elected officials and appointed, and also, Lord, as the director of Bethesda Mission. Lord, I just pray that you continue to give wisdom and direction to our city, that we would be able to do things that bring glory and honor and help those that are hurting among us. We ask it in Christ's name. Amen. Amen. Well, I basically wanted to share just two things real quickly. And as you see, we are going to do food boxes this year. Through the mission, we were able to secure these pre-made food boxes for $14.74 as our actual cost. So we factored in for those that are wanting to pay online, which you can do, that takes that service charge and puts that into that. So we're basically just doing it for cost, and we're excited. We're doing that in partnership with Second Harvest. Now, the reason I'm sharing this with you is we're trying to get the word out. If you want to submit a name, you can do that. You can either call us the old-fashioned way, or you can submit through the link here that's listed in blue on the form. You can submit the name, and then if you're like, well, I'd like to also give towards that name, or maybe give a few extra, there's of course no obligation. You don't have to give to be able to submit a name, but we really do want to reach those that truly need it. I know I was sharing just a moment ago, I met 4 homeless people this past week here in our community, and there was nowhere to put them whatsoever. So I just had to say, if something happens, becomes available, I'll let you know. But of course, that's also hard because they just have a few minutes left on their cell phones. So it may or may not. But I say all that to say, there are those that are hurting. The senior center, so they had 5 people that if it wasn't for Meals on Wheels, they wouldn't eat. I mean, that is in our community. I'm not talking about 1,000 miles away in one of the big cities, but that's here in Houston County. And so I was like, we really need to try to do something to help, especially with the prices. How much was that turkey?
45.
Wow.
21,000.
I mean, prices are just skyrocketing. Of course, there's not turkeys in this food box, but there is a ham in that. And thankfully, we're going to, if we can, supplement from the mission as well to even add to what's in the food boxes. So just if you can share that with those around you, maybe a group that you know, you may say, hey, yeah, we'd like to do this. Or you may say, I've got a neighbor that I know they probably don't have anything, and submit their name as well. So like I say, it's not just about trying to get you to sponsor, but definitely let us know. We only have until the 11th, which is on a Thursday, because we have to order before, and those come out of Nashville to Camden and then to us. So we want to make sure that we get as many people in, because if somebody calls me on the 12th or 13th, there's not an opportunity, there's not enough time to get that shipped in. So appreciate that. The other thing that I wanted to share with you, Bethesda Mission has taken up along with Dale, the EMA director, what they call a long-term recovery group. That's was in response to the disaster, the floods back in August. So we are actually leading that. We've actually got grant money for that, but FEMA cannot release any names to us. So I'm having people come by in trickles by the mission. They say, oh yeah, we lost this, or whatever it might be. And FEMA has helped some. I get the numbers, There were 194 applications that were valid, but I don't know where they're at. I don't know, anything about those households except what the Red Cross has given us. So I'm saying all that to say, if you know of people that need help, and maybe they got a little bit, I know the average assistance amount, I think in our county was like 2,600 plus, is what it averaged out to. So I know there's still needs, gotta be needs, because like I say, I'm running into that. I know there are people that are living with family members, and there are some people that did not even apply with FEMA, because they didn't want to take somebody else's money. Of course, FEMA's like, you need to apply, this is your money that you paid for years in taxes. So if you know of anybody, please call the mission. Same numbers on here, 289-4044. Send them our way, because like I say, we do have grant money available to help, especially, we can help with much more than we're normally able to help, because the grant money is so much bigger. Because what they're doing, they're dividing it among the 4 counties by percentage, which still gives us a pretty large chunk of funds. And of course, what we don't use will stay in the account for the next disaster. But if we can help anybody in the meantime, don't let somebody do without that we could help out, because we definitely want to do that. So just wanted to share that with you as well. And that's my part. If anybody has any questions, you're certainly welcome to ask those, or give me a call at the mission. Glad to talk with you. Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate what you're doing for our community.
I tell you, I love it. I love helping people every day. It is one of the amazing, best job in the world. Best job in the world. Really can't count it a job, because it's what they say, find something you love and do it, and you'll never work another day in your life. That's where I'm at now. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. All right, this time I'm gonna call the meeting to order. We're gonna get roll call.
Alderman Mitchell.
Here.
Alderman Moore. Here. Alderman Liggins. Here. Alderman Baggett.
Here.
Alderman Parchman. Alderman Warren. Alderman Gooden.
Here.
Alderman Carson.
Here.
Mayor Bailey.
Here.
Mr. Stevens.
Here.
All right. You've been provided a copy of the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the October minutes?
Motion to approve October minutes.
Second.
We have a motion second. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Chief Moore needs to get out of here to assist in something that's going on, so he's going to go ahead and give the police report.
Thank you, Mayor. Sorry to change up y'all's agendas. For the month of October, Police Department answered a total of 249 calls for service, issued 40 citations, and made 17 arrests. Those were 2 domestic assault, aggravated assault, 2 reckless endangerment, burglary, possession of burglary tools, criminal impersonation, an aggravated criminal trespass, vandalism over 1,000, theft between 1,000 and 10,000, 2 possession of methamphetamine, 2 possession of marijuana, possession of legend drug, and a possession of drug paraphernalia. We issued 3 citations in the lieu of arrest. Also 5 accidents, none of those with injuries. We also, just prior, I think the day before Halloween, us, the sheriff's office, and highway patrol, we try to do it every year, is go around, check in, visit our sex offenders, make sure they're in compliance prior to Halloween, just to make sure they're following all the rules of the register. So, any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, and we'll let you go to your next.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we had the donation committee meeting. We will present that in December. We set the Parks Committee meeting tentatively for November 15th. It's 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Is there anyone that can't make it that's on the Parks Committee meeting? I think you. Okay, so you were the one. So, okay, we will have that at 5 p.m. on November 15th, which is a Monday. We did complete the paving and most of that was due to FEMA or emergency as far as the flooding issues, so we did complete that. Of course, FEMA will reimburse us for 75%, so we took care of that. We did have a wastewater treatment plant meeting today at 10 o'clock. They poured 2 walls. It seems things are fairly much on track. They have plans of pouring 3 more pours, which would, I say 2 walls. They poured 2 corners. And based on what I'm seeing, there's like 8 pours. So they plan on doing 3 more pours this month coming up. And then, so they are progressing. I think things are going fairly well overall. Of course, weather this time of year is going to play into it, but I do think it's going fairly well. We are going to need to change, if it's agreeable with y'all, the work session. I'm going to pull this up. The work session for our next meeting. Because of how it falls in December, the work session would normally be on, well, it would be on December 2nd, and the regular meeting would be on December 7th. However, on December 2nd, there are some classes, and if y'all are interested in attending those, you can. We have a list of those. But there are some classes that Angie needs to attend to help her get her hours and make sure she's in compliance. She can put these towards what she needs for next year. And then there's actually some classes I would like to attend. These are in Murfreesboro, but they happen to be on the second, the first, second, and third is when these classes are. So with that in mind, if need be, and we can, what I'm asking you today is if there's something that's important that I feel like we need to have a work session for, I would like to do that on Tuesday, November 30th. And then if we determine that we can get by without a work session, I would like to cancel it for December. But at this time, what I'm asking y'all is if you would like to, if it's felt it's necessary, we can do it on November 30th, and if not, we just won't have one for December because of the classes falling. They're in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and because of the way they fall, it's just not going to work to do that work session if that's agreeable with y'all. So,
We need a motion to.
if you would like, if I just get a consensus, I mean, it's just, it would be, whatever, but I feel like especially for Angie, because she has to have some hours, which she has most of what she needs this year, but these would help her. And because of what's going on at this time with how to do the ARPA funds and stuff like that, this would be helpful, especially for her, but honestly, I would like to attend also, so.
Unless it's something really important comes up, that needs to be a planning meeting, it's just can't.
Yeah, and we can do that, and if something happens, it is, but there's some infrastructure things and things that we need to know about as far as how to spend these funds. And so that's the thought. So what we'll do at this time is we'll just kind of plan on canceling, but if it's okay with y'all, what we'll do is we'll do it on that Tuesday, the 30th. If there's something that comes up, right now I don't foresee anything that we really need to talk about, but if something changes, we will let you know. So I just kind of wanted y'all to know that. We did not have any committee meetings. Under new business, we talked about this, and they have not come tonight. I just realized that. I just knew this Mr. Phillips would be here tonight, so, that brings me to my next thing that I forgot about. As we speak, the city of Erin is working on a mainline water break where someone decided they needed to put a fence. And so they drilled through our main water line for a fence post. So the city of Erin is working on that currently. So with that being said, I would like to take this opportunity to remind everyone to call before you dig. You know, the 811, just call before you dig, because right now the guys are out working on the water line. And it actually, it's a main water line that it affects Woolworth, Delray Road, Cumberland Valley. It affects a vast area where they drill through, so they're out there working on that now, so.
Will they be charged and for the
Well, yes, we'll have to do,
pay and the loss of water?
we'll have to do something, at least for the, and you get into this deal where you wanna be nice, but we have to at least charge for our overtime and our cost of materials.
Materials.
And, you know, I don't know exactly how much water we've lost, but obviously when it's a main line, we've lost some water, so maybe perhaps it works out just as well that the people that were here to speak tonight are not here because, Philip's not here either, but, with that being said, I mean, I really thought they were gonna be here tonight, so I didn't even think about it until just now, so I
How
don't.
fast are they wanting it done? Was it they fixing a deal like?
No, I don't think it's a fast thing, so what we may do is just, I think what we should do is just, if they're that interested, we'll ask them to come next month. You know, because if there's I mean, this is my opinion, y'all can tell me what you want, but if there's an interest there, I would think they would be here. So with that in mind, and I don't know, just like we have things come up, you know, people drilling through main lines. Maybe something came up for them, so I don't know. So, I guess at this point, until we know a little bit more, we'll get some more information, and they're not here tonight, so we'll just, if it's okay, if I can get a motion to table it till next month, we'll just table it till next month.
I make a motion to table it till next month.
We have a second? All right, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
With, any opposed? I'll get in touch with them as well as Philip, and we'll just table it till next month, so, you know, like I say, where the interest is, I would think they would be here. But anyway, moving on, the Adams property, we spoke about that on Thursday. They're willing to sell it, they had mentioned $8,000. At the request of the board, I did go and look at the trailer. It does have a tongue. I just took it upon myself to look under the crawl space. And with all the rain we had and looking under the crawl space, I determined that I did not want to crawl under the crawl space. But with the insulation that was hanging down the way it was, I could not for sure determine if there were axles under there. I do know if you get somebody to move it, and I do know that I've got a couple sources myself, so I think axles, if that was the issue, wouldn't be a problem. The tongue is on it, but there again, this is just something they approach the city, so I'm just asking your thoughts if this is something you would like to proceed with, or how you would like to go about it. You know,
I think we need to do that.
What would be the benefit to the city if we don't?
It would make the walking trail look better, I think. It's not gonna be a loss to the city as far as, you're only getting less than $10 for property taxes. It would be a little bit of expense to, get it torn down or removed or whatever you would like to do that way. But,
We have the fire department permit.
I'll turn in.
Still got clean. I'm against it because it doesn't help the city. It helps feelings that it's eyesore and off the walking trail. But it's $8,000, we gotta come pay for it. he can private sell it for that. We don't spend nothing, either we still get tax money, or they can move it, or whatever you need to do. We don't even be responsible for even moving the thing. If you haul it down the road and something happens and hits the car, the city is responsible for that.
Well, and of course, on that extent,
You should have cleaned it up.
it would be my thought that you take a back alley out there and get probably a dumpster and get it just shoved in the dumpster. But I mean, it's basically whatever your thoughts are. It was just something that was brought to my attention. There was something mentioned about, getting another, FEMA grant to buy property. And I'll be honest, we are working on one. That was one of the things we talked about, is too late to get it in the one we have now because it's too far along. The chances of getting another FEMA grant are probably slim to none, especially with everything else going on. Not just Waverly, but other areas of the country are going to take priority. So the likelihood of the city of Erin ever getting another FEMA grant is probably slim to none as far as what FEMA buys out the property. It's everything that I can see. That's I can't say it won't happen, but it's probably not going to happen. So it's whether this board would like to do it, would like to put that investment, and it is an investment in something where the land's, obviously when you get it cleaned up, I'm not gonna argue the point, but when you get it cleaned up, you're going to be spending more money than it's worth, but it is right along the walking trail and could be redirected into something that would look a little better. And like I say, the property taxes per year are less than $10 to the city. So that it's not like you're losing a lot of property taxes, but it's whatever y'all would like to do.
I just don't think the city should get into buying personal property. It'd be like Joey Reynolds on himself. I mean, you open a gate to a lot of properties that, when you bought his, that means you can buy mine. He can sell it outright.
And he can do that. Of course, he may be limited given where the property's at, but that is another avenue for him. It's just, the reason it was, I'm sure the reason he brought it to the city is because it adjoins the walking trail, and then it has the bird sanctuary right beside it. So that's why it was, I'm sure he thought it might be something that the city was interested in. And as long as I've been mayor, I don't think I've had anyone come to me wanting to sell the city of Erin property. So I think that his reasoning behind it was because of his location.
If, in the future, if it gets vandalized and all like that, it's an eyesore.
That way, it
You
could
think
be.
about it, I mean, what would we do about that?
There's a lot of eyesores in town.
So.
Also, when you start here,
I agree with you.
And I don't argue that a bit. You're right. There are some.
I was going
We
to-
got some in on Main Street.
Well, that goes back to why aren't we finding people for the eyesores?
Yeah, right, that's on.
We
us.
have talked about that many times.
Trees hanging over.
Yeah.
Pass it on.
Yes, because I,
And
back
rebuild the
in,
property, you can sell the property for the money.
because Main Street used to be one of the prettiest, it was beautiful. I mean, back in the day, the Main Street was just a beautiful place to walk, to be, and then it's just like, living in the vacant homes.
Yeah. But, well, I guess getting back to this particular property, it would be what this board wants to do. And with that in mind, we can hear more discussion. Or if you would like, someone can make a motion and we can vote, or if you want to table it, or whatever you would like to do.
What is the guesstimate of, you can do it for paying someone to do it, to get the fire department to do some of it, and then still have to haul it off, but what is the guesstimate of even just to clean it up? Instead of on top of the $8,000, because that's where I'm kind
Well-
of sitting there thinking, could we even offer, if we decided we wanted to do that, offer lower, because I wouldn't pay what's right next to me $8,000 because just that they, at my house, just because they want it.
Right.
And I gotta tear the thing down and it looks, I mean, I'm not gonna ever do that, so.
Honestly, it would be my thoughts, you know, because like Wes is mentioned about towing it down the road. Well, nobody's gonna buy it. So it's scrap value. You know, the value is it being on the property. Sometimes something's valued more on the property than off the property. Of course, the city of Erin would not want it on the property. So given that thought, you would probably be better off getting, dumpsters, the open top dumpsters, and just taking a backhoe and the bucket and putting it in the dumpster, and you would be able to do that, I would think, at the most 3 dumpsters. You know, so your dumpster cost and your time,
Yeah.
but then you'd have the frame, do what?
I was thinking about how much those big dumpsters are. I know I was paying like $600.
Yeah, you're talking probably a couple $1,000s there, and then you still haul off the frame or cut it up and throw it in the dumpster. Which I mean, you could actually, you could actually haul the frame off to a scrap yard and get some money for it, but I mean.
You're somewhere around the price range now about $10,000 to $12,000.
I would say reasonably $12,000 would do everything, maybe less.
But then you're at 3 dumpsters, the backhoe, 3 city employees, plus everything else. I mean, it costs up more than that. The guys don't work for free.
Well, that is correct, they don't.
So, I mean, then you got fuel and wear and tear on equipment that we don't even need to be using to do that.
And do we currently have enough staff to do it?
We don't have to.
We are understaffed at this time, I would say that.
That those got to be separate, just can't fill everything together. You've got to put wood in one, metal in another.
Yeah, they definitely prefer that.
So we're down.
But, I mean,
But the property itself, I mean, nobody's gonna buy it because you can't build nothing on it. You can't build anything.
it is
So
difficult,
it'll be dead property anyway.
right?
I mean, it's just gonna sit there.
Let's give him a few
And
more months.
eventually that'll fall in, yes.
Let's just give him a few more months to decide what he wants to do with it.
Are you-
Let him get rid of it. Clean up your own back.
Right. But, so what are you saying? Are you like to table it or?
That must be denied purchase.
We don't even got a motion on it.
That's what I'm saying. I just, at this point, I'm just, I would ask for a motion to, you know, what you'd like to do. Table it, yes, no, whatever you would like to do.
I say just table it and see what he does, because he can't sell it.
All right, we have a motion to table this, and then maybe he will come back to us with another offer. Is that what you're saying, or?
You don't want the eyesore, but you don't want all the other stuff that goes on with it.
And I could set it to a scrap head.
But I mean, you can get rid of the eyesore without giving him money. If he can't sell it and doesn't want it, then if he doesn't pay property taxes on it, you can seize it from property taxes, or you can just give it to us. And we shouldn't have to come out any pocket money.
That is correct. So I think Ms. Ligon put a motion to table it. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and second. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, we already have the police report, have a fire report here. October emergency responses are as follows: 3 wrecks, 3 structure fires, 1 landing zone, 1 EMS assist, 2 applications for burn permits were received. Training topic for the month was EVOC, VKF driver training. I would like to express a great gratitude to Philip, Jackie, and our maintenance employees. Philip delivered a large quantity of our firefighting foam supply from City Hall to the fires in Danville this last month, contributing greatly to saving multiple properties. This is one of many incidents that he and his employees have came to our aid, whether it has been to monitor the water system to ensure we are adequately supplied, or to bring resources to incidents to assist. They have been a great asset to the city's fire and rescue operations. And I would like to add to what Chief Warren has said. When we have a small group of employees, we are kind of like a family, and I see it from time to time where they do assist each other, and I actually happened to be at City Hall when Philip rolled up last month and was grabbing foam to take to Danville because the firefighters responded on a call for the county, which the county was there, and it was mutual aid, and so they went there, and it was a very bad fire, and it could have been worse. They were able to save a residence on each side, especially on the left-hand side. The right side was a little further away. Jennifer's down there; she can probably explain it a little bit too. But on the left-hand side, there was a garage, and there was also a propane tank, and it could have been much worse, I believe. But because of the mutual aid agreement, the city helping the county, and also the city maintenance helping the city fire, it did help out quite a bit. And I think it's just it just shows that even though we're a small community, we're a small group of employees, that we do assist each other. And I appreciate what the fire does. I appreciate what maintenance does. I appreciate whether they're in the office and they're fielding the calls for maintenance and finding out where the leaks are, or if it's a police that sometimes has to be on the side of the road directing traffic for the leaks, or however it works out. If it's the fire helping the police, if there's a wreck, it's just however it works out that our employees do work well together and assist each other. And so I'm going to add that to what Chief Warren has said, that I appreciate our employees. I really do. I also need to mention, it's not in your notes, but the fire department received $24,000 from the Gary Sense Foundation for water rescue, and they're sharing that with the city of Tennessee Ridge, so it's a total of $48,000, but each city is getting $24,000 for equipment to help. So I do appreciate that also.
And I'm trying to give you a breakdown on what that $24,000 is gonna be. You're getting a 15.5-foot boat that has a jet drive motor. It has also getting a 10-foot inflatable raft, 6 dry rescue suits, rescue life jackets, and all NFPA equipment to outfit 6 water rescue. So that was what we were able to get for the city of Erin.
And that's at absolutely no cost to the city, so. But I do appreciate what all the city workers do. I also appreciate what all the aldermen do as far as listening. I know y'all go through the community and you hear comments or complaints or just thoughts, and sometimes it's people that are praising what the city's doing. Sometimes it's where they're not. But I do appreciate y'all taking your time to listen to what the community says, and anytime, I will say this too, anytime you want to relay that information to me or Angie or any of the ladies or any of the people involved, if you get a comment or a compliment on the maintenance guys, let them know. If you get a compliment on the fire, the police, the ladies in the office, let them know, because we are a small department. And sometimes you do get caught up in what you're doing, and sometimes, I like these guys, and I don't know where they're at now, because obviously we've been in the meet for a little bit. I just know that right before I came upstairs, they came back to City Hall to get more stuff to do the water leak. So they may still be out there. I don't know where they're at. So Jackie needs to bring something to them, so
Right.
we need to wrap this meeting up. But anyway, is there a motion to adjourn? Second,
Second.
we're all in favor. Jackie, turn that thing off and go get them whatever they need.
And just for y'all to know that this is actually more than just a street piece. It goes from Half Pond down to the highway